you to smell my breath.
I've said it time after time. There's nothing I hate more than a psychic. Well, that and perhaps underwater coming. There's one psychic that managed to pop its way into my TikTok feed nonstop amongst the videos of age girls twerking. And it honestly ruined my FAP. I hate him. I absolutely hate him. He's the Seatbelt psychic, and his whole shtick is that he delivers psychic readings while pretending to be an Uber driver. Now, it doesn't help that the guy has a long list of scamming others for various apartment-related endeavors. Usually that's the first red flag. But Thomas John likes to call himself a medium, a psychic, and he does it while driving cars, which is actually a very novel approach. You're picking up passengers, so why not have the opportunity to give them readings in this small time where you guys are in limbo from one place to another. However, it's all bullshit. It's all a lie. Now, before we actually start, I have to tell you that I'm going to be using two articles for this video. One is by the Skeptical Inquirer called Buckle Up Seatbelt Psychic. This article is written by Susan Gerbic, and it's a wonderful one. And the next one is an article from the New York Times, which apart from being known for being AIDS, they actually have a quite decent article talking about the sting operation to expose celebrity psychics. That in and of itself was very interesting, where all these people would make fake Facebook accounts and attempt to see if these psychics were using these accounts to get information. You see, there is a well-known technique amongst these retards where they look at social media. They might scrape your Instagram. They might look through your Facebook and see if you've had any sort of events happen in your life, whether that might be a funeral, a wedding. Maybe you started dating somebody. Maybe you went to eat some brownies at a fucking hot dog shop. And this article goes over several famous psychics that were caught using these fake Facebook accounts, one of which was Thomas John. Also, I don't understand what it is about these psychics that they all have the same name. Thomas John, Mark Edwards. They're all quintessentially white guy names. It's kind of fucking weird, but I guess there's a trend amongst these absolute troglodytes. So watching the show, there are many red flags that might be, I guess, missed by the casual user. First of all, when you watch the show, you realize that there are absolutely no logos worn by any of the passengers. This would otherwise be a trivial point. However, usually when you are picking up people, they're wearing brands. They're wearing clothing from stores that they frequent. And for some odd reason, this show that happens to be on television, all of these passengers happen to be missing clothes that have logos. Also, I don't know about you, but whenever I get into an Uber, a taxi, any sort of car, and there are two people in the back, I don't sit directly next to the person. This is like going to a urinal and then picking the stall next to a guy that's already taken a piss. You look like a mentally ill virgin. Also, please disregard the mess in this house. It doesn't usually look this way. The person that I'm dog sitting for just came back from a trip to Japan and they've unloaded all their goodies. But you notice that in the show, whenever a passenger that happens to have a friend come into the car, they always sit next to each other. And why is that? Well, so they show up on frame. The whole premise of the show is that you catch these people off guard. They're expecting a sort of ride from one place to another, and you're catching them and giving them readings. But when there's no logos being worn by any of these people, when they're sitting next to each other so they happen to align coincidentally perfectly with the camera, it makes you ask questions. Now, one of the things that stands out about Thomas John is that he's able to get these hits that are very specific. They're not the standard psychic trope of, oh, there's a G somewhere. Am I getting an F? Am I getting a D? Oh, D. Yeah, Donovan. He's coming through. Oh, you were trying to talk to Dave? Oh, yeah, him too. Donovan's just in the way. And they fish for information for them to use so they could then give you the reading that you might remember as being accurate. But he's getting very specific hits. And funnily enough, these specific hits are coming directly from social media. Way before he decided to be the seatbelt psychic, he was caught in the exact same sting that I referenced earlier from that New York Times Magazine article. They were trying to repeat an experiment that they called Operation Pizza Roll, where they would make Facebook accounts for people that don't exist with information that is not real. And they were determining if these psychics were using the information from these pages in their readings. And of course they did. So they happened to have made a fake Facebook weeks before going to a Thomas John show. And of course, you could imagine what happened. Let me read you an exact quote from the actual article itself, where it says, "Someone is making me aware of cancer?" John asked. And Gerbic, the person who's faking the Facebook account, choked up. Yes. John reeled her in. "I'm getting something right here," and pointed to the abdomen. "Stomach or pancreas?" Gerbic acted emotional. And John went straight down the rabbit hole, all while being careful not to bring the crowd down. He said of Gerbich's fictional dead brother, "First off, he's making fun of you, teasing you for being here with me. He's laughing about it." And of course, the audience laughed as well. And again, all this is the specific information that was posted on this fake Facebook account. So you would think, done deal, that's over, you're caught, you're exposed. No, they gave him a television show. And it's absolutely hysterical that in the actual show, he gives a disclaimer saying that there's absolutely no actors used in the course of the actual episodes, whereas there's nothing but actors used. This is a great example from season 1, episode 1, where the bitch is actually on IMDb. The other funny thing that the article points out, which is the amount of casting producers that are working on the show, which is quite interesting considering the show happens to get real people in these real situations that Thomas John apparently doesn't know. And there's 7 casting producers whose job is to specifically find people for the show. Actors. And you look through the comments on the actual TikTok videos of the Seatbelt Psychic and it makes you want to punch a puppy. It makes you want to join the PigCake Magic Academy, where I teach you the very same techniques that are used by these phony psychics. You could go over there and learn things like card tricks, coin tricks, or mentalism tricks that make people think that somehow you actually have psychic powers. But the difference is that these fucktards are using these methods to exploit people. They create false memories with the deceased. Now, of course, Thomas John's not doing this because he's reading fake people, but he does have shows. He does have actual shows, and all he's doing is being a dirty, disgusting liar. Now, as a magician and a mentalist, a fake mind reader, you could use the same exact techniques used by these psychics for your own shows. Everything's on social media these days. Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. It doesn't matter. You could get information from these avenues. So all you have to do is, if you have a show or if you have some downtime, maybe you go to the bathroom, you look this person up, you look up their social media, and now you have information that you could feed them, apparently as if you're getting it in real time. Now, if you happen to be a believer in this psychic bullshit or a psychic yourself, please reach out to me. I'm very open, I'm very available, and I'd love to debate you live on a stream. Because you'll lose. There's no way you'll win. You're retarded. You're obviously using techniques that have been around forever in the world of virginity, and I want to call you out for it. But I think it'd be a very interesting conversation if you're one that thinks maybe you could defeat me in debate. Big fucking tits. Now, of course, I'd be remiss if at this point I didn't attempt to shill my own things, such as the PigCake Magic Academy, the home of over 1,600 videos going over card stuff, coin stuff, mentalism, everything you need to become the best magician you could possibly be. Now, if you don't like subscription models, I suggest to check out my brand new projects with Peter Turner. I have a couple fun ones, including one on the open prediction plot, as well as another one on the Out of This World plot. They're available linked down below for your viewing pleasure.